and could you introduce yourself for me?
Hi, Thomas. I'm Suzanne Greenberg, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about the legalization of marijuana in the professional industry.
Cool. So, since states have legalized marijuana, massive drops in marijuana arrests have happened, no increase in youth marijuana use, and no traffic fatalities. How do you feel on that?
I'm not shocked as long as all of the other people in our industry. Nobody's really shocked by this statistic. What's really nice is that that statistic is making it into mainstream news and kind of taking the fear-mongering away from this wonderful medicine.
There's also been articles that have said that the legalization of marijuana has been potentially going up in smoke. What's your take on that?
Well, there's definitely an argument to be made for both sides of that. With the legalization of marijuana, it's taking it a lot of times out of the hands of the small-time grower, which most of the time are your mom and pop growers that have a lot of hands-on and experience with it. And it's kind of going into the hands of corporate America, which, most corporations don't have a whole lot of experience with marijuana growing per se. So there's good and bad to both of that. Me personally, I'd like to see a happy medium be struck where the people who really grassroots spearheaded this industry and stuck through it with thick and thin kind of have a power in our legislature because they're the ones that have the knowledge. Unfortunately, they're the ones that don't have the deep pockets, and I feel like the deeper pockets are going to end up ruling this industry. And I have high hopes that it's not going to go to the evil corporation side, but there's obviously always that potential. That being said, it's going to be way more regulated, which is a good thing. Because there's always going to be somebody that's going to use Miracle Grow or isn't going to have the best integrity when they're growing their product. So, again, I think just a middle ground would be really nice. So there is two sides to that coin, so yes and no.
Also, according to a 2006 study, cannabis brought in about $38.5 billion, which dominates two major crops, which are corn, which brought in $23.3 billion, and wheat, which brought in $7.5 billion by a long shot. How do you feel about that?
Well, that long shot doesn't even begin to cover it because you have to understand that both corn and wheat are government subsidized and marijuana isn't and probably never will be. So it's not only those statistics, but many, many more when you start taking into account government subsidization.
Yeah, perfect. So around 70-ish% of America is in favor of legalization of marijuana. Now, that's definitely a solid statistic, I would say, now that more and more states have been legalizing for recreational use. What do you think the next step is for these states?
That's a really good question. I think education is what got us here, as far as people kind of realizing that it's not the reefer madness of the bygone era. And I think education is what's going to keep us going forward. Because at any point in time, propaganda could take over. And I think as long as people educate themselves instead of listening to massive media, that, we can keep going in the right direction. 70% is a great number, and there's no way we got there without good education.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, it's 30 states and the District of Columbia currently have laws broadly legalizing marijuana in some form. Now, 8 states and the District of Columbia have adopted the most expensive laws legalizing marijuana for recreational use. Do you feel that more and more states will start to do this, or what do you think?
I think that's a great question. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of back and forth in the states that have gone from medical to recreational. Only Colorado is the shiny example of really being able to do that well. California right now is floundering between their medical and their recreational. They just can't in California, the regulations have changed at least 6 times since January. So
Wow.
it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Also, in 2018, Eric Altieri says that it could be a potential pivotal year for the marijuana movement. He says, with over 60% of Americans now supporting the full legalization of marijuana for adults, the momentum behind marijuana law reform will not only continue, but will increase as we head into 2018. Do you think 2018 is definitely a pivotal year?
I already see it in play. I absolutely agree. We just don't know which way it's going to go. I think it's going to be good, but we have current administration that's fighting against it pretty hard. But with the population so in favor, it's going to be hard for the few lawmakers to stand strong against. But yeah, it's definitely pivotal. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. And I don't see it shaking out by the end of the year. It's going to be a couple of years.
Yeah. So when it says the full legalization of marijuana for adults, what do you think the legal age should be for recreational use per se? More and more states legalize it.
I mean, I'm a big believer that if you can fight and die for our country, you can do anything else in our country if it's legal.
Absolutely.
If you're 18 and you can vote and you can fight and you can die for your country, you should be able to use it recreationally or medically at your own discretion.
For my final question that I have for you, how is it being a woman in the industry compared to, being a male?
There's definite two answers to that. The previous industry of marijuana was a little difficult. Well, it's always difficult being a woman, to preface that entire answer. But it was a lot more difficult in the bygone era of guerrilla black market marijuana, just because it's anytime that you're in a black market scenario, it's going to be a little bit more dangerous, and being a woman is going to be that increasingly so. However, with it getting legalized, there is a whole movement of female entrepreneurs in this industry, from farmers to nutrient makers to a lot of your workforce that's doing the manicuring and processing of the cannabis has mostly been female-based. This is just because it's such a grassroots movement, there's a lot of area for the female workforce to step in. And they're not lazy, and they're stepping in.
Wow, thank you. Again, I'm with Susie Greenberg, who is in the professional marijuana industry, and I would just like to thank you for taking your time to talk to me about this.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure.